Okay, perfect. Yay, I see some new faces on. I'm so excited. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Okay, so there's a mute button. Sometimes we get feedback, so just make sure that you're on mute if you can find that. That would be helpful. All right. So, as I mentioned, we have the Cup Challenge coming up. 5 people to a team. Get yourself on a team. Get registered. There's extra prizes if you get registered by this weekend. If you didn't see, I posted about it in our team page. And then, as I had mentioned, we're doing a Fearless and Fit competition within the team. So we will be competing for some additional prizes. Let's see. No, Jenna has a 21-day fix group coming up February 1st. Is that accurate? Yes. Okay. So if you guys have anybody that is interested in joining that, let Jenna and Amanda know, and you can get into that as a coach, and also if you have challengers. Remember that when we have people that want to be in these groups, the key is they need a challenge pack. They need to purchase a challenge pack. However, some people have already purchased the 21-day fix from Amazon or from, who knows where. And so they already have it, right? So sometimes you run into that problem, which is okay. So what I make sure, though, is that they purchase the Shakeology on Home Direct, and that's their into the group. They have to do that through me, and that way they can still do the program that they currently have, but they have the Shakeology on Home Direct, because the nutritional piece is so important. For me, that takes away all of the guesswork. So I know that everybody has had all the nutrients that they need in a day, knowing that they're on the Shakeology. So make sure that is, that they're purchasing that through you in order to get into the challenge group. All right, and then what else? We have the free coaching group going on right now. That is going to be going until Friday, so you can still add people to it. Just when you do that, make sure they go back and check out the posts from the start of the group. And hopefully by the end, we will have a ton of new coaches signed up and ready to roll and get your teams rocking in this new year. Okay, so tonight I want to talk to you about being a professional. Now, like probably most of you, I was not a professional of any sort of means when it came to health, fitness, and that's the beauty of being a Beachbody coach, right? You don't have to be a professional. However, I'm sure you've heard this saying, you have to treat it like a business if you want the business results. So with that comes treating it professionally, every single aspect of it. So you don't have to be a professional in health and nutrition, but I do want you to become a professional at certain things that you're doing. And this takes time. It takes, trial and error, but it's something that is going to be very important, because the more and more Beachbody coaches that are out there, it's going to be that much more important for you to present yourself in a more professional way so that you stand out from other coaches. So I'm going to start with Facebook, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook, Instagram, your wording, your photos, and just your attitude and confidence throughout all of this. So Facebook, right? So you're a professional on Facebook. This could be your like page or your personal page. It depends on what you prefer to work your business mainly through. But I do recommend that both your photos, so if you do have a like page, both of your photos look not professional, but they're clear, okay? They don't have to be professional photos by any means, but they have to be clear. They should be of your face, something that's more close up, and something where it's brighter, okay? People don't like to look at dark things. So all of your photos, everything needs to be in a lighter hue, okay? Once again, you know, this is your business. So your cover photo can be, you know, a collage of things, and that could include something more like your family. But I suggest when people look at you and they say, okay, who is, I don't know, Maggie? They want to see a picture. They want to see a snapshot of who that girl is, who they've been, you know, checking out on Instagram or whatever, on Facebook. Who is this girl? So make it clear, make it bright and close up, okay? Then your cover photo can be, like I said, a collage. And this kind of ties into, you know, we've talked about your rocks. And so what that means is basically 5 things that are important to you that you are going to focus on within your business. Okay, so for example, you know, if one of your rocks is your family, absolutely have your family on your cover photo, right? There are actually services that can help you do this, to help you create a professional looking cover photo. One is called Fiverr, Fiverr. And it literally, it's like a professional design, and it is $5. So you give them your photos, you tell them like what it is, how you want it to look, or maybe you have no idea. You're just telling you, okay, these are my things that I want. And they will create designs for you. Such a low cost. I was such a cheapo when I started, and I wanted to do everything myself, and I didn't want to pay any money for anything. And even it coming down to, you know, propping my photo or my camera up to take photos over and over and over again. I probably spent more time attempting to prop my phone up to take photos or videos of myself, and then my phone fell, and like I probably wasted so much time doing that. If I would have just invested $30 in a tripod, or maybe cheaper, like I would have saved so much time. I was such an idiot. And I literally just bought a tripod like last month. So like I am cheap in that way. Because I think, oh, I can do it, you know. But it's not worth it. In the end, it's just do it. Just invest a little bit of money, and you are going to come off as so much more professional, and you're going to stand out than, you know, other people. So I highly recommend that Fiverr site. You can use that for your personal page and your like page. And they're going to give, you know, your own personality in that, but in a professional way. So there's also Canva or PicMonkey that you can create your own if you would like. I am actually like, I don't know much about PicMonkey. I usually use Canva. But PicMonkey is where you can actually like cut your body out and put it on like backgrounds and things like that. More like a Photoshop type thing. So you can attempt to make your own, but once again, if you're busy, just give somebody the photos, pay $5 and be done with it, right? Like, why mess around? So that's another option though. You can play around with that. I also use Canva for a lot of my like recognition posts and things like that. So be a professional. Also, you have to think about going public, okay? And this is also for Instagram. And I know a lot of you who maybe have families are leery of doing that. There's still settings that you can like block certain things, or every photo you can choose if you want to share it with everybody or certain people. So there are still restrictions on there. But I will tell you, if somebody is looking, for example, if somebody sees you on Instagram and they were trying to find you on Facebook and you have everything private, they're going to be kind of like, oh. Like if you were to go to a business page and it was private, you're not going to really look at them, right? You're going to be like, okay, well, that was stupid, you know, because you can't even get in to know them. You can't even get into their site because everything's blocked off. So you have to think of yourself as a business. And although it's not a website, if you don't have a website, it is your website. So use Facebook in the same way that you would a website, your business website. And like I said, you can choose to put certain things on private, blocking, whatever. So, and then also being a professional, you know, think about what's on your Facebook. What are you posting, right? Now, I'm not going to say like you can't be goofy or whatever. Like I'm totally goofy. But it has to bring out your personality, which is a great thing, but keep it positive. People aren't going to go to a business website and be like, wow, like their day sucked. Like, you know, if you do talk about those things, have it upward swing to it. So there's always, I mean, we all have bad days, and it's actually a bonus to sometimes talk about them, but it can't be like, I'm so sick of everybody. I'm so tired of logging onto Facebook and seeing all these stupid people, like all the drama. I'm just over it. Okay. Like I'm sure you've seen posts like that and you're like, oh, okay. So if you've had a bad day, talk about it in a more professional way and then give them what you did to get out of that slump. Okay. That's you offering that advice. That's you offering them something, that little nugget that they can take away and be like, oh, and then the next time they have a bad day, they're like, all right, they just went and they did a workout and they felt so much better afterwards. Okay. So be professional. Think about your wording. Think about maybe even like what you have, meaning your interests on there, your books, your movies. Now, it's okay to have things like that on there because some people are going to look at your page and be like, oh, they love Star Wars. So do I. This is awesome. So it is good to have some of that. But if it's like something a little like, I don't know, racy of any sort, I would re-look at it and maybe take it down. Okay. So be that professional. All right, moving on to Instagram. Instagram is my fave, right? It's like you can target your exact audience. So it's pretty awesome. But that also has to be public. If you are private and people go to your page, they want to see what you're doing. So for example, you know, if I went and liked somebody's photo that was health and fitness, and then they go to my page because they want to see, oh, like they must be interested in the same thing. Let's see what she does. And then they don't see anything. They're not going to follow me just to see my stuff. They're not. So you have to become public. It gives you the opportunity to open up a world of customers, clients, coaches, friends even. Like I've connected with so many people on there. So make yourself public. Rethink of your bio. What does your bio say about you? You know, it's okay to be more of, you know, for example, I used to have, you know, stay-at-home mom, mom of 3 boys, which is okay, but the bottom line is people aren't, if they're interested in coming to you for business help or to coach or for health and fitness help, they're not really going to care about all of those other things in your bio. They want to know that you kind of know your stuff. Yes, it's a way to connect. However, that's going to come through in those 5 rocks, which should be in your photos, not in your bio. Okay. So rethink your bio. Although you're not a professional nutritionist or maybe a, you know, athletic trainer or whatever, personal trainer, you are the CEO of your own company. okay? This is a multimillionaire company, okay? You are a part of that. So you got to treat it like that, right? So, you know, if you have a team name or if you have something of for yourself, even if you're just starting, let's say, your like page, you know, it could just say Amy DeSanzo Fitness, CEO of Amy DeSanzo Fitness. It doesn't have to be like an LLC that's like signed and dated, okay? Be a professional in that bio, because that is what's going to set you apart. And once again, your profile picture. What is it? Can they see you? Can they like somehow get a glimpse of maybe you're into health and fitness or you look like a professional? Now, once again, it doesn't have to be professional photos, but there are ways to get pictures of yourself that are good and clear and bright, and it will get the point across. Another good idea is to have your Instagram picture the same as your Facebook photo. And the reason why I say that is because as you get into this a little bit more, what I do is whenever I talk to somebody on Instagram, I immediately send them over to my Facebook page, because communicating through Instagram is not as easy as messaging through Facebook. So I will send them directly to my Facebook page and say, hey, connect with me here, message me here. And then they do. But if you want to make it as easy as possible, if you know you have a common name and there's like 80 of you, they're gonna be like, it might be her, it might be him. So same photo. It's gonna make it easy for them. They're gonna say, oh, I recognize that, and they'll be done. So think of ways to make this easier for people to be following you, to get engaged with you. Okay, so that's your profile, your bio, and then once again, think about the different things that are on Instagram. Once again, you want to think of the photos, right? They're all photos or videos. So how are we going to do this? Once again, I talked about the tripod, right? I don't ever expect anybody to like take my photos or take my videos. So I have downloaded a couple of apps and I use my tripod and I do what I need to do, even if you have to like bring a lamp over to make the lighting a little better. People don't want to watch these blurry, dark videos. They just don't. They also don't want to watch videos where they can only see half of your body. It's great, you're doing it, but it doesn't come across as being professional. Now, I understand some of you might have like space issues, right? But that's actually where a tripod is really helpful. You can prop it up. You can, like I have one that extends. So a lot of times I'll extend it and I'll actually place it on a table and angle it down towards me. So it creates more space. And so you can actually see me. So be aware of that spatial awareness in your videos and in your photos, because it matters. All of this stuff matters. Let's see. Okay, I use, when I do my videos, I just use my normal, I just hit record and then I walk over and I do my thing. Because you can clip it. So you can clip in to where you want your video. So I don't use any like special app for that. I use the, what's it called? I don't know why I'm blanking on the name right now. Pick, Play, Post. Although I am not sure that's the best one. I meant to write it down. There's other, apparently that one's like really low quality compared to some of the other ones. So I will get back to you on what the better version of that is. There's also the iMovie. If you have that on your phone or your computer, that's good quality. So you could always use that as well. And then for photos, I use Burst Mode. It's an app. and you can set it to take a certain amount of photos, or like having a second in between or no seconds in between. So what I'll do is I just set it up, I hit the button, and I go do a million different poses or different workout positions or whatever it is. And then I can go back, hit stop, and look through them and save whichever ones that were the best. And then I keep them in my, like I might only use one today, but then I keep them in my phone so that I can, on the days where I look like crap or I just like was in my pajamas or something and it's totally unprofessional, I can go back and use those things to put them in and use that instead. So that's what I do. I find it a lot easier, and it's like less stressful, because then I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have a photo to use. Like I need to post. So I suggest doing that. I suggest, if you take a couple minutes, one day, 2 days a week, let's say 10 minutes, go make a couple videos, go take a couple of photos, and then you have stuff to pull from the entire week. So if you had a really, really busy week and maybe today's your rest day, you can still talk about that it was a rest day for you, but you can also still provide them with a workout that day because you have it in your library. So I try and do that. I try no matter what to post some sort of video. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to, because to me, it's important that my followers get ideas every day from me. So you want to provide that value to them. And it doesn't have to be fitness videos. This is where, once again, comes back to those rocks. Whatever you are, whatever you believe is most important to you in your business, that's what you're going to go after. For me, I focus more on the fitness side. For some of you, it might be more of the nutritional side. So, you got to figure that out for yourself. But those are just some ideas. Kyle, do you have burst mode as an option for you? No.
I've never even looked for it, so I don't know. To be honest with you.
You what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I never knew about that app until you just said it, so I don't know if it's an option for me or not.
Okay. I asked him because I have an iPhone and he has Galaxy. Yeah. So sometimes there's like different apps for those phones. So if you have a Galaxy, just post. I'm sure somebody else has a Galaxy and they have different apps that can help you out. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the photos. We want clear. We want light. You can also create some space within your Instagram photos, because if you go to your page, most people, when they open up your page off of that first screen, what is that, like 12 photos? That's what they're going to judge you off of, like if they're going to follow you or not. So you want solid photos there, right? But sometimes they're so like jammed together that it's hard to distinguish, especially if they're not like close-ups. So I suggest to kind of create a little bit of space in between those photos. Now you can even pull them in on the actual Instagram app. I don't know if you know that, but I also like to just add white to either side and make them smaller. But that's up to you. To me, I'm an artsy person, so I am very visual with all this. And to me, that is more appealing to somebody's eyes than having them all jammed together. Hold on one second. I'm gonna mute a couple people. Hold on. Okay. Are you guys still getting feedback from me? Like echoes? I'm hearing it a little bit. No, I think we're good. Okay. Hi, buddy. Okay, you want this blanket? Sorry. All right. I love you. I will after my call. Okay. So next is wording. Something that's really, really important, and something that I was really actually intimidated by at first. I remember reading like Melanie Mitro's posts and all these other coaches' posts, and I was like, oh, mine suck. Like, they just know what to say, and they just got it together. They have it flowing, and I was always like, mine are terrible. So it takes practice. This is something that definitely takes practice, and you will get better and better as you post. But I want you to think of your wording, because this is, once again, a business. If you're wishy-washy in what you're saying, people are kind of look at you different, and they're not going to be like, oh, they don't really feel like or sound confident in that. So make sure that after you write something, go back and read it and make sure it sounds like something that a professional would write. Is it something where they sound confident, where they know what they're talking about? Make yourself be, you might not be where you are or where you want to be, but be the person that you want to be. So, for example, if you're a brand new coach and you feel like you maybe don't feel like you can say those certain things yet, you can. I used to feel like, well, I haven't made that much money yet, so I can't really talk about what all Beachbody has done for me, because I'm just not there yet. And that's a lie, because there are so many things that Beachbody can do for you and are doing for you. So although you might not be there yet, and I'm not telling you to lie, I'm just saying, think about the things that it has done for you, and the things, even if it was going and buying extra pair of shoes, or maybe you were able to take your kids for ice cream. It could be the smallest thing to you, but it's huge. Those are the little things that you can celebrate now that you should be sharing, because they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as you continue your business. So once again, treat it like it's that $1 million company that it is. Just because you're not making $1 million yet doesn't mean that you cannot act as though it is giving you things, okay? Giving you freedom. So make sure that you kind of think through that and talk about it, because people want to know and see those things. Okay, I'm going to talk about inviting, because this leads right into it. So a lot of people have this fear of inviting, or maybe creating these posts about inviting. And it really doesn't have to be scary, because if you think about it, it's nothing more than you have an incredible business that you are taking somewhere, and you are inviting people along with you. And so if you were a headhunter, what would you do? You would go after people you think that would fit well in your company, and you would compliment them. You would introduce yourself. You would tell them, how great they are, what you see in them that you just love, and you want them to be a part of your team. So it should be something, when you do this, it should be such a compliment to other people that it makes them happy. So if you think about it that way, inviting should not be scary at all, because you're literally just complimenting people that, listen, I think you are a rock star and you would kill it. I want you to be a part of this. Who wouldn't want to hear that, right? So there's no reason to be afraid. So when we do these posts, generic posts on our walls and Instagram and things like that, and it's that invite to join my team, or invite to the coaching opportunity, or whatever it is. Once again, go back and look at your words, because if you're not coming off as believing in yourself, as believing in your business, as being confident, they're not going to want to work with you. Because who wants to work with a CEO who doesn't really know their own direction, right? You want to put your efforts into somebody who is confident in what they're doing and is going to kind of pave the way for them. So that doesn't mean you have to have it all together, because believe me, I don't. It just means that you are confident in who you are and what you're doing. And what helps you kind of get there is if you sit down and actually think of your goals. And, you know, some of us had in our feisty fearless, I don't even know, whatever it is, other group that we have going, you know, I said, okay, who's going elite this year? Who's doing this? And, you know, Amanda was like, oh, this is scary, you know, and it should scare you. It should scare you. It should scare you. But you can do it. If your goals aren't in place and they don't scare you, you will never get there. So if you don't have goals, that means you don't have a direction, which means when you invite, you can't really give people a direction, right? So think about that. I want you to kind of go back in that line that I just said and think about some of your goals, because, and it doesn't have to be, you know, super specific, but it does need to be, I am going to, you know, be hitting Success Club every month and I'm growing my team, you know, X amount this year. You know, maybe it's an income goal. Maybe it's, I want to help a certain amount of people this year. If you have that goal, when you bring on these people, you can say, okay, this is the goal. We're going to help 100 people reach their health and fitness goals this year. So let's break it down. Let's each hit this amount of people each month, right? So that's direction. People need direction. So think about your goals. Professionals have goals, right? Business people, they should have goals. Most people have year-end goals. If they don't, that business is probably gonna be in trouble. So your goals are gonna dictate your everyday behaviors. Your goals are gonna dictate getting people on your team and where you're taking them and what you're doing with them. So even if you are a brand new coach and you're like, I don't know, I don't even know what this stuff is, that's okay. But I want you to think small goals first, okay? The big goals are your big push goals, and then you break it down monthly and weekly. So that's going to then come through on that invite, right? So even if you need your upline coach to look at your stuff before you post it, I want you to do it. Okay, really focus on that this week, because the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. And I want you to also go back and reread your post and think, okay, is this confident, or is this, well, I kind of get it, but I don't. Be your best critic or worst critic when you're reading your stuff, but then don't be afraid to post it and reach out for somebody else to look at it too. And then, so that also ties into just attitude, daily personal development. You gotta have, we all hit dry spots. We all hit hard spots, right? We all in this business, in life, at some point, could be a different job, are gonna say, this is tough. This is hard. I don't feel like doing this. I don't know if I'm gonna hit my goals this month. It happens. It happens, it happens, it happens. Even to the best of the best, okay? So you gotta keep that positive attitude, and you have to lead with it. Okay, there's nothing worse than being led by somebody who doesn't believe in themselves or doesn't believe in their own goals, right? Like if you want to lead, you have to have an attitude that the glass is always half full. Because if you believe and you're positive, then your team, your coaches will be positive, and it will actually bring that positive energy to people wanting to join you, to bringing on new customers, bringing on new coaches. Did I say that twice? Customers, coaches? Yeah. So it bleeds. That good attitude, if you're filling that glass up, it overflows. It bleeds out into, all the different tentacles, whether it's your team or on social media, whatever it is. A CEO will not have a successful company if he's always questioning himself and he's always questioning his team. So lead with a positive attitude. Okay, that is what a professional would do. I think that's all I got. So I want you guys to, number one, goals. And I know we've talked about this, but goals, you got to think of them and write them down, okay? It's so important. Then I want you all this week to look at your Facebook photo, your Facebook banner, and try something new, okay? If you have a great one, that's awesome. But I want everybody to post it in our group so that we can help you and we can say, oh, maybe this would be a little bit better, or I really like this. So post your cover photo in our group so that we can all look at it and kind of help each other get to be a little bit more professional. And then don't be afraid to spend $5 to get a professional looking photo. It is so worth it. And you can use that on your personal page, your like page. They can even do something that is like similar to both, but have a little different tweak to it, so that is a little consistent throughout. So I want everybody to please do this, because I'm actually doing a training right now, and I'm going to be bringing you guys tidbits throughout this course of what I'm learning, and it's all on Facebook like pages. And this is one of the exercises that we have been doing, and it has been so helpful. And if you've seen my like page, that's why I've like tweaked it 20 times, because I post it and then like, oh, like this needs this or whatever. So let's be as professional as we can. We're not perfect, but what we do comes across to other people, should come across to other people as being professional. And that also includes responding to people, because, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people that say nasty things on your photos. And, I'll tell you, before I was a coach, if somebody like said something nasty to me, I'd be kind of like combative and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, whatever. But now it's so freeing to just be like, oh, thank you so much for your opinion. Like, that's not what I'm about, but I appreciate it. I hope you have a really great day. And then they're like, what just happened? So, be professional. Don't let people's judgment and negativity stop you or get in your way. It's going to happen. I promise you. And unfortunately, it usually happens more so when you first become a coach, because it's brand new. People are very critical, and they're judgmental. So just don't let it affect you, because opinions don't pay bills. Opinions don't make you happy. Opinions don't create relationships. Opinions don't make or break you, and they don't make or break the fact that you are helping change and improve people's lives. So don't ever let negative things stop you. And that's also the beauty of Facebook and Instagram. You can delete and block. So don't ever be afraid to do that, because I have. So that is your assignment for the night. get those goals down. Think about how you can be more professional. Go in, analyze your Facebook page, your like page, your Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, you got to get on Instagram. And post your cover photo in our group, and we will help each other just create a more professional photo for each other. Okay? Does that sound good? Can you all do that? Perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on. We will be doing the Thursday morning call, Kyle. Yes? Thursday morning power hour at 6 a.m. I know it's early, but I promise you it pays off. I will not be on it because I'm going to be on an airplane, but if you guys can, I'll tell you, I hate getting up that early, but getting up that early and getting it done is the best thing that you can do for your business. There's no distractions and you're able to just fire away. So if you can get on, that's Eastern time. So I'm sorry, West Coast people or Midwest people. Yeah. So, but maybe one day you guys will have your own. So, all right, guys, have a great night. Please do those assignments. I promise you it will pay off. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.